Oh, good morning, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the beautiful Peak District, and what a beautiful morning it is. Absolutely stunning. These are the benefits of being up and about at 6 o'clock in the morning. So as I said, we're in the Peak District, and we are down at Ladybower reservoir. We've just crossed over Ashopton Viaduct, and we're in search, as the water's so low, we're in search of the lost village of Derwent. I can't believe how little water's in this. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. What an iconic image that is. Windhill just up there. Ashopton Viaduct. So what we're going to do, I've walked along that top path that takes you down to Derwent Dam. I'm going to try and walk along the shoreline as far as I can. I think most of the village is down that way, but there is little bits we can pick up along the way. So some sort of bridge, is it? So there's a brook that runs from the Derwent edges across the top of that way there. The brook runs down, kind of where that sheep is. There's some sort of bridge that goes across the brook. Or a dam, maybe. Kind of curves off that way. There's still a little bit of water coming down off the tops, despite how dry it's been. It really is a beautiful walk, this one. Crook Hill's just up there. Especially when you come early, it's nice and quiet like it is now. But it does get very busy, and you can see why. The first light just on the trees, it does look like autumn. It looks loads like autumn. Another week to go yet though. Anyway, let's go and find this village. I'm not sure what this bit would have been here. It's kind of paved and there's some metal work there, like a runner for something. I don't know. There we're getting our first proper glimpses now of the old Derwent village. And you can see how long these have been exposed out of the water, because we're getting all the ferns and foliage is starting to grow back. So these must have been out of the water for a good couple of months now. Yeah, there's definitely water coming from somewhere up on the tops. And the old Packhorse Bridge. See if we can get down without going in. There's some more stonework there. It's like a stone circle here. I just want to be careful where I'm treading, because some of these parts this is quite dry, but some bits have got like a crust on them and it's really soft underneath, so I don't want me going in. Yeah, it's like a stone circle. Oh, is it just a bit of a boundary? You can see it comes round and then So the village of Derwent was effectively drowned in 1944 when Ladybower reservoir was created. And that also included the village of Ashopton, which is back over near the viaduct. I think the only part that was actually saved, because it had a preservation order on it, if you've been down to Slippery Stones, which is about 1.5 miles that way, is the old Packhorse Bridge, which was moved. So that bridge that you cross when you cross the Derwent, where everybody goes paddling, that was originally somewhere down here, I believe. But you can see how much, I don't want to get too close to the edge, but you can see how that stream's cut through over the years. Timber work there. Those tree stumps maybe? Yeah, look, that tree stumps those. What a place to have lived in. Imagine waking up all those villages of Derwent, waking up to this every morning. Well, there's two. I'm not going to walk on this. This is, I say it's got like a crust on top, and then underneath it's really soft, so I'm not going to walk on that. But there's a bit of a boundary wall there maybe, and then 2 gate posts. Alright, so this is what remains of the church. Strange feeling, this. It just looks like a pile of rubble, but obviously you've got be really careful here because it's very slippery. So you can still make out it was a building. And the corners and the angled stones, shaped stones, whatever you want to call them. But what a strange thing to see. A church like this, for the most part of its last 85 years of its life, it's been underwater. There's something, I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, there's a like a orange buoy marker, and there's something just poking out of the water, like an arch, some sort of arch shape building. I'm not sure what that is. I know there was a school somewhere. I had a quick look at the map last night. There was a school somewhere around here, and I think Derwent Hall was somewhere down this way, but we'll get down there shortly. Check that out, some initial strokes on that, one of the church stones, MJD 1975. So I can only assume that, was 1975 the hot summer, or was it 1976? So obviously this was exposed in 1975 as well. Oh, there's another one there. What's that say? 95. So 1975, 1995, 2025. What a view. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that stunning? I wonder what people made of it back in the day. Getting a knock on the door or letter through the post. Right, we're going to build this massive reservoir, but unfortunately we're going to have to knock your village down, and you're all going to have to move. I wonder what people thought, and I wonder what people would think nowadays. Would we even be allowed to do it nowadays? there'd be uproar. There'd be uproar, wouldn't there? And can you imagine if social media was a thing? When all the villagers got the word. The village Facebook community group would have been in meltdown, wouldn't it? What's that? Is that 1901? That's, I'm stood on top of that Packhorse Bridge now. 1901. We've got a bit of a tarmac road here. I don't know if that would have swept around, and then there is a bit of a tarmac road that goes just beyond these trees that takes you down to the Derwent Dam. So is that a continuation of that? More of that tarmac road. So that's come round this way. And then finish here somewhere here, by the looks of things. But everywhere you look, there's just these foundation stones for buildings. And we all know we've had a dry summer. It's been red hot. We've had little to no rain of any significance. But when you look at something like this and the effect that that has, it's crazy. Especially when you think of how wet the winter was. I can remember in February where I lived, the Trent was flooded, like proper flooded. It was that much of a wet winter. And fast forward 6, 7, 8 months later, we've got things like this. Ducks loving it. How long is it going to take for it to get back to normal? I think it's just below 50% at the minute. So how much rain is it going to take, and how long is it going to take for it to get back to any sort of normality? And obviously the church houses a graveyard as well. So those bodies were exhumed in 1914, reburied in the village of Bamford, which is what, 4 or 5 miles that way. Some more walls, one running there, one running kind of parallel with it, another one there. So everywhere you look, there's just sort of boundary walls and foundations to buildings. There's a rusted metal work here. Is it metal work? Yeah. It's like an old gate maybe. What looks like a path there. Winds its way along, across. This is weird, walking along here. Ordinarily we'd be about 10-15 foot underwater here. Some more metal work. Again, might be remains of a fence or a gate or something. Yeah, it kind of carries on round down to whatever that building is there. We'll have a look at that in a sec. There's a couple of old gate posts there. Just there. And obviously got the aqueduct going across. There's definitely some sort of footpath there. It comes straight down That's where I'm stood. Dog legs a bit and then straight into this building. Foundations of another room or building there. The remnants of a gate just stuck up. Can you make that out there? Kind of there. It's difficult to make out whether you've got some timbers there. Look, still some of the stuff that you think would not be here, like the metalwork and the timbers and stuff. You think it'd have all disappeared by now, but yeah, it's difficult to say whether this is one building or multiple buildings. But I've definitely got a gateway here. See, you still got the metalwork, look. I've got a gate post, remnants of a gate post. It's easy to distinguish the rooms. It's difficult to judge kind of what height we're at. Obviously, it's got that's silted up over the years. I don't think we're at sort of floor level in the rooms. Because if that's a doorway, not falling over. Because if that's a doorway going up and across there, obviously we're stood on 3 or 4 foot of silt. Yeah, it's difficult to judge. This almost looks like, comparing it to all the river walks I've done, this is almost like a bit of a landing stage for boats. So this could possibly have been the course of the Derwent. But it's crazy how little water, there's literally, where the aqueduct is, there's literally a strip of water, maybe, what, 15 foot wide, maybe, something like that, at its narrowest point. I don't even know if there's any water at that point there, behind it. I'm not sure. What a place. You think all those people that walk up there, thousands and thousands of people a year walk up there, no clue or idea of what's down here. Obviously a lot of people do, don't they? That sounds a bit patronising, but yeah, it's a strange old place. But it's a bit eerie, really. What a place to have lived. It must have been brutal in the winter. But it sure was beautiful. Some of the locals checking it out. It must be a good bit of grazing, all that greenery down there. So there we go, that was Derwent Village, the lost Derwent Village. Well worth popping along and having a look. I can only assume over the next few weeks, what we're on now, we're in last week of August, so I can only assume another couple more weeks of dry weather and there'll be a bit more to see. There's definitely bits and bobs still being exposed, but yeah, come and have a look, but be careful, respect it and respect where you are. See, like I've just stood in that there, look, it's got like a crust on top, but underneath it's really soft, so just be careful. Don't let your dogs and kids run amok, and obviously respect the buildings. He says walking around them, but I mean, don't move the stones, don't take anything with you, etc. So from the bottom of, near the bottom of Ladybower Reservoir, I shall catch up with you very soon. Remember to keep talking, get yourselves outside, enjoy what's left of the summer. So I shall see you all very soon.